All right, we are now live on Instagram as well. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Ekiria Collins. We are here for Yorkies of Houston Summer Series of Hot Topics, and I am excited that you're here. Thank you for joining me on this evening. I'll give you just a few minutes for some more people to come on. I won't be on very long. Tonight's topics are going to be about summer safety and the new FDA recall on dog food. So hopefully the food that you're feeding your dogs are not on that recall list. And while we're waiting on some more people to come back on, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm the CEO of Yorkies of Houston. We also have Yorkies of America. Some of y'all might know that, some of y'all might not. And also am a Six Sigma consultant. So I have a Lean Six Sigma business called Let's Sleep Consulting. And we have our amazing Paws Boutique that we would love for you to look online or come and visit in person. We also have the virtual business builder. So all of these companies keep me really, really busy, but I am happy to be on with you tonight. So I'm going to jump right in because I don't want to waste anyone's time. And we're going to start off by talking about the FDA Dog Food Recall first because my background is public health. For those that don't know, I actually went to Baylor and was one of the first to graduate with a master's in public health, also bachelor's in community health. So I'm very big on disease prevention and health promotion. And so that means I read all food labels. And with my dogs, before I put anything in my dog's bowls, I read it first. And so I was very surprised to see on the news first that Nutro was listed in that list. It really kind of hurt my feelings because I have been a fan of Nutro for years. However, all of the big name premium dog brands were on that list. So you had Blue Buffalo, you had Halo, you had Merrick, you had, what are some other ones that people love but all of the even Rachel Ray, the grocery store brands, but they had a lot of brands. It was a 78-page document that I read, over 500 cases of dog food recalls. So if you want to just Google that, you can Google FDA Dog Food Recall recent or 2019, and you can skim through that list and see if any of your dog food's on there. I'm happy to say the food that we give you all with our puppy kits were not on there. So Nutro did have some brands on there, but the food that we give, the Nutro Essential Small Breed puppy, was not on that list. So that brand is actually safe. The brand that I actually feed the dogs that are in my home, which is the Nutro Ultra Puppy, was not on that list. So that brand is safe. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my one camera, my Instagram live. Let me look over at my Facebook live. I don't want to ignore anyone. So the two brands that I feed my dogs were safe. They were not on the list. I will tell you, the puppy brand of dog food is really only good for puppies up to 10 to 12 months old. So if your puppy's over a year old, you're really supposed to be feeding them the adult brand, which was on the list. The Nutro Ultra Adult made the list. So if you're feeding your dog Nutro Ultra Adult, stop, because it is on the FDA recall list. Now what that means is Nutro, I'm sure, is going to fix that issue. But right now, if you have it, you need to contact Nutro on Friday when they reopen and let them know that you have the Nutro Ultra Adult dog food, you want your refund, and you need to choose something else. Nutro has all types of food. So they have other types of adult food that's not on the list that you can give your dog, but I would check that list because a few other of the Nutros were on there. Some of their limited edition specialty diets were on there. And basically, this list is about these dog foods are all causing heart disease. So that's what that's why the FDA is recalling that list. So you want to make sure that you are not feeding your dog the Nutro Ultra Adult. If you're doing the Nutro Essentials, which is the cheaper brand that doesn't have the vitamins in it, you're okay for the puppy. You're even okay for the adults. But I recommend a vitamin added with that if you're just doing the basics. If you're doing the Nutro Ultra Puppy, which my dogs in my household are on, you're fine. What ends up happening is when you keep an adult dog on a puppy dog food, they tend to be bigger and they gain more weight. So we have some customers, I have some competitors who say, you have fat dogs, you have bigger dogs. Why don't you have the little tiny dogs? was because I keep my dogs on puppy. That's my personal choice. I'm a healthcare provider, healthcare executive actually, and so that's my choice to do, and it's not harming them. Because we have other ways around that where we exercise them, we measure out their food, we feed, we also mix organic human food with that, which I'm actually gonna do some lives about going back to just cooking for your dog. I mean, that's the best thing. The brown kibbles, they're convenient, but they have to put a lot of chemicals in there to keep those kibbles shelf life long. And those chemicals are not healthy for your dog. So if you have time, you can cook some brown rice and chicken, or brown rice and salmon, oats, lamb, whatever your pockets can afford. My babies like lamb, my babies like salmon, that's their favorites. And then, if your dogs don't have an allergy to chicken, that's great as well. So we've talked about getting back to actually cooking and freezing their food and pulling it out as we need it. Because actually we know what's in it, we know the ingredients that's in it, and we don't have to deal with these FDA recalls. So hopefully that was helpful. And I see people asking me, do I ship puppies? Yes, we do ship puppies. And you can call us tomorrow. We're actually open on tomorrow on the 4th of July. So hopefully, if y'all have any questions about the FDA Food Recall, please ask me. One brand that I will tell you about, I will tell you that I don't totally recommend it, but it was not on the list, and it really surprised me, was Royal Canine. Royal Canine was not in any of the 500 cases. I don't know if that means that Royal Canine paid the people off, or if it's just a really good dog food. What I can tell you is a lot of breeders use Royal Canine. It was not one of my favorites because the poop stinks. And because when I read the ingredient list, a protein is not the first ingredient. The first ingredient is rice. So that makes me skeptical. And the second ingredient is a protein. Also, Royal Canine has corn in it, which has no nutritional value. And I don't feed my dogs any product that has corn in it. So that's why I wouldn't actually give that product to my dogs. But I can tell you one breeder that I actually like. Her dogs are like their coats, and she feeds Royal Canine, and it works for her. So I'm not going to tell you I recommend it. I will tell you it's not on the list. I'll tell you that the first ingredient is not a protein and it has corn in it. So, to that, you're going to have to make that decision on your own. Okay, moving on to summer safety. Tomorrow is 4th of July. I hope you all have plans. If you don't have plans, hopefully you get a chance to relax. So what I will tell you is, my family and I went to the beach for Memorial Day, and we had a blast. And we actually was so surprised to see as many dogs there as it was children. Almost everyone had at least 1 to 3 dogs with them. But what we didn't see was water or food bowls for the dogs. They had all the trimmings for the humans. They had all the things they needed for their barbecue and their picnic. But the poor dogs didn't have a bowl to put water in. Their kids had Capri Suns or the little 6 for $1 chub drinks or whatever they call them. But the poor dogs, each dog I looked, I'm like, okay, where's the bowl for the dog? What is the dog supposed to drink? We're out here for hours, and not one family had a bowl for their dog. So if you go to the park tomorrow or to the beach tomorrow and you take your dog, think about your dog. Think about packing some water for your dog. Think about packing the bowl for the dog, some food for the dog, because these poor dogs were out there panting, which is a sign of dehydration, for hours in the heat without any water. So my niece says, well, maybe they're going to drink the beach water, which is really gross because that day it was a high fecal matter in the water. So that's a whole nother issue. So I just want y'all to be aware, because sometimes, we're trying to check our list off, making sure we remember everything for the humans. And at least I'm happy y'all brought the dogs out, but nobody brought a bowl, or I didn't see any dogs drinking water out of a dog bowl on the beach, okay? So speaking of that, different ways that you can keep your dogs hydrated. So this is one of my staples I keep in the house. It's Pedialyte. I actually think this is maybe the Walmart brand of Pedialyte, but it's the non-flavored. I actually poured in their water bowls on hot summer days here in Houston. Also, if I have a puppy that's not doing well or not drinking, eating or drinking, I'll syringe it to them. But that's a whole nother thing. You might not be able to do that. I used to work in NICU, so I recommend you talk to your vet. I'm not a vet. I'm not giving you any type of medical advice on this live. I'm just saying this is a staple that I keep in my house for my babies. And my veterinarian actually recommends chicken noodle soup. So you might hear people say, oh, you can give them broth. Well, broth is great, he says, but actually what has more nutrients in it is the broth from the actual chicken noodle soup, because it has some of the pasta, some of the veggies, and some of the meat in the stock, and the stock is richer. So I'm sorry, I forgot my Instagram audience. This was the Pedialyte, non-flavored, and then of course the chicken noodle soup. You pour the juice off the chicken noodle soup to give to your pet if you feel like your pet is dehydrated or not eating or drinking. You're trying to get them back to health. So those are some secret tips. Also, you can use baby food. So you not give them dry food, because dry food is going to continue to dehydrate them. You want to give them moist things. So you can do baby food or wet puppy food, which they love. These are all transitional things to if you feel like your dog is dehydrated and they're showing you signs of dehydration, which is dark yellow pee, which is panting, which is lethargy. If you see any of those things, you want to make sure that you get them to a vet as soon as possible and try to hydrate them as soon as possible. And the next thing I want to talk about is making popsicles. So I plan on doing that for my babies next week, is buying some molds and using water and Pedialyte, putting peanut butter in there, some fruit that are actually dog friendly, because all fruit is not dog friendly, but I know blueberries and strawberries are, and I even read that watermelon is, and banana. So you can look on Google, look on Pinterest for recipes for doggy popsicles, and make your dog some popsicles. And I think they'll have fun, and it'll give them some time to, have something to play with and do, and also hydrate them as well. So hopefully these tips will help you in summer safety, so your dogs will not get dehydrated this summer. And also, I missed something earlier with the FDA Dog Food Recall. They make these digestive enzymes, right? So this is Nature Vet. I use their vitamins a lot. They make all types of different types of vitamins. And so this is a transitional vitamin to help aid the dog's digestive system when you're switching foods. I bet y'all didn't know that they make that, right? I bet you thought you can just give the dog a new food and it'll be okay. And no, it won't be okay. Some of you probably know that you're supposed to mix the foods together. But yeah, you are supposed to gradually mix the foods together, more of the old food, just a little of the new food, until you gradually have all of the new food. But this can help aid it quicker. If you just totally start giving a dog a new food without mixing it, you're going to cause diarrhea, stomach upset. A lot of people do that with my puppies. They'll purchase a puppy from me. I'll provide them a brand new bag of premium dog food, and because they saw a commercial or they have a dog at home on a different brand, they switch to dog food without consulting me, and then call me 2 days later and say, my dog is sick. You sold me a sick dog. When that is not the actual case. The case is you changed the dog food and you upset your dog's stomach. So you want to make sure that you are transitioning your dog to a new food if you were on the neutral ultra adult. Okay? All right. Last two things I want to discuss is something that I discovered after my baby was bitten by a bee, and they make this is a bug repellent for dogs, and this one is actually human friendly and dog friendly, and it's DEET free. So I found out that bee and wasp actually are the two bugs that when they bite you, they leave their antennas, their stingers in you. and that's what you can become allergic to. And so that's what happened to Dior last week. And so through my research, I found out that you can actually spray your dogs when you're taking them for a walk or letting them go outside, especially around the ears and neck area, because that's where the bees like to sting, is in the ears and neck area. And then if they do get bitten, that you make sure you take something, or you make sure you take them to the vet and they take those stingers out. That's one thing that didn't happen with Dior. The first ER we took her to did not find the bite. They didn't know what happened to her. They knew she had an allergic reaction, but they didn't know if she'd eaten something or was bitten. The second place found out that she was bitten by a bee, and this can happen to any dog. It wasn't because she was white or an exotic, or as some people like to call an albino, because she's not an albino. She was a white Yorkie. They said that they see mixed breed dogs. They see all types of breed dogs, large, big, small. They see about 2 to 3 a week that get bitten by bees and wasps. They die immediately or within a couple of days. The issue is that she didn't. She lasted almost a week, but her stingers were still in, because I didn't know that you're supposed to take them out until my PCP. I went to a doctor's visit for myself, and the PCP said, well, she kept reacting to the treatments y'all were giving her because the stingers were still in her ear. So, talking to some of my healthcare friends this week, I found out, you can do the old school way of mixing tobacco and putting tobacco on the stinger, and it makes the stinger come out. But my PCP, which is my physician, told me that palm oil, which is just a natural oil, also draws those stingers out. So again, not giving you medical advice, just sharing my story with you to help you understand that those are random. To me, it was a random thing, because I've had dogs my whole life and never had a dog be bitten by a wasp or a bee before, but it happened. So definitely invest in some pet-friendly bug spray. They sell it on Chewy.com. That's where I got mine from. This one is called Herbal Armor by All Terrain. They sell it on Amazon and Chewy. And this one is actually a bigger bottle because, like I said, it's human friendly, so you can spray yourself and your dog before they go out. And hopefully you won't have to experience what I did. But I learned a lot, and I'm going to share it this summer in the summer series with you all, how to navigate an ER experience, what to expect, what not to do, how to advocate, how to research. So I'm excited to share my experience with you all. And then the last thing is your doggy sunscreen. So if you notice, this has not been open because, of course, I'm helicopter mom now, and the dogs have not been outside since Dior was bitten. So I do plan on letting them go back outside, but they will have on their sunscreen, and they will have on their bug spray. So again, this came from Chewy.com. And especially the lighter color-coded dogs, they definitely need this. So I actually bought this for my white exotic Yorkies. And I bought it for the chocolates because let me tell you, one of my male chocolate Yorkies, when we first got him, he was like a medium to dark chocolate color. And he loves outside. He loves chasing the squirrels and the birds. And for some reason, squirrels and birds and all types of wildlife love my yard. And so they love to be in my yard, and the dogs love playing with them. And so now he is a very light golden tan color because the sun has bleached him. And so just like we can get sunburn, I'm pretty sure dogs can too, because it definitely bleached his coat from when I first got Chocolate. For those people who remember Chocolate, when I first got him, and I was so excited and was sharing pictures with you of him, and now he's like a very light tan color. He's not really a chocolate anymore, and that's because the sun bleached him. So you definitely want to use those products. And that's all I have for tonight. It is 9:51. I did not want to keep you all on for too long, but I'm so glad y'all joined. And I hope you check those dog food labels. I hope you're feeding your dog some premium dog food that has a protein as the first ingredient and does not have corn in it. And you keep your dogs hydrated. And also make sure you wash your dog bowls every day. You don't eat out of dirty dishes, I hope. So please don't make your dogs eat out of dirty dishes. Wash their bowls, even if you have to wash them a couple times a day. If, they have some crumbs or, something floating in there, pour that out and give them some fresh water. Give them some bottled water. Be nice to them. Be kind. And I'm sure, you'll be rewarded with them having a long, healthy, happy life. So, happy 4th of July. I appreciate everyone who joined me tonight, and I look forward to seeing y'all on next Wednesday. Have a great night.